Hi, I'm the Middle East marketer, and welcome to this episode of Desert Dialogues, where we're talking all things paddle and the opportunities with paddle networks. So, unless you've been living under a rock for the last few years, you won't know how big paddle has grown. It's a huge global phenomenon, and the GCC is no exception to the rule, with over 70,000 courts in Saudi Arabia alone. So, I'm here to look at the opportunities within networking and paddle tennis. I hope you enjoy the episode. So, I'm joined by Peter. Hi, Peter.
Hi.
Could you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm the founder of Global Capital Group. It's a group that does structuring, corporate services, media buying, a lot of advertising and marketing, and we also have a branch that does real estate investments.
Oh, amazing. So how long have you been in Dubai?
I've been here for 10 years now.
Oh, wow. So a bit of a veteran of Dubai then.
Well, a little bit. My sister's been here for 18 years. She's a real veteran.
She is a real veteran, is it? So you've seen a lot of changes over the years then?
A lot of changes and a lot for the better.
Amazing. So what brought you to play paddle? How long have you been playing?
I've been playing for 2 years now. I think I picked up the sport because I was invited by one of the members here to come and try it out and connect with other like-minded people.
Okay, fantastic. And what benefits have you seen apart from playing paddle, which you obviously must enjoy to do?
Well, to be fair, I played tennis before for 8 years when I was a young kid. So picking up paddle was not that hard.
I was going to say that's quite an easy transition then, isn't it?
It is. It kind of sounds like it, but then you make a lot of mistakes because you play like tennis. But I've met a lot of interesting people here. It's a great network because it's easy to pick up. You have a lot of people that maybe don't want to play golf or invest themselves that much into golf that can pick this up. Yeah. And even if you are at a low level, it's very easy to get engaged quickly and to really enjoy it quickly.
Definitely. And you just touched upon golf there. Now, obviously, golf is known as the key networking, where the guys go out on the golf course and a lot of business is done out there. Do you see this going the same way with paddle?
I gotta say that there are a few clubs in the UAE that are very high up there and with a lot of potentially powerful people networking. And I do think that there is a chance that it doesn't overtake golf, but it becomes a side partner with golf. People playing golf will play paddle as well.
Definitely. And what do you think is the key thing? Why there's such a huge rise in playing paddle? What is it that you love about it?
I think it's fast-paced, it's very easy to pick up, you have a lot of fun. And also, because a lot of people can pick it up, you meet a lot of different people from really different backgrounds. So it's an interesting sport, and it's just very easy to do outside, indoors. And because we're in Dubai, I'm not going to play outdoors in the summer. It's really hot at 5 a.m. Whereas at 7 a.m. in a paddle indoor court, I don't have any issues.
Yeah, that's it. That is the beauty that you've got that choice of doing indoor and outdoors. And finally, in terms of business synergies, have you actually created any synergies since you've been part of the paddle network?
Well, actually, the paddle network has given me a lot of great business opportunities. I've been able to see some of them on the fundraising side, on the advertising side, and on the structuring side. So for me and my group, this was a really good idea to come and network during paddle.
Definitely. That sounds fantastic. Thanks so much for your time today, Peter.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Darko, thanks for joining me today. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do in terms professionally?
Thanks for having me. So I've been an advisor to B2B tech companies for the last 5 years. I've invested in about 30 technology businesses. And in the GCC, I've been particularly specializing in corporate development of IT service management and systems integration companies into the region.
Oh, wow. So have you been in Dubai for quite a long time? Is it a regional company or is it kind of a Dubai specific?
It's my own business. There's about a dozen core staff. It's called True Altitude. The holding company is called TEG. It's in Abu Dhabi. There's 3 partners leading their own teams. I manage my own team, specializing at what we mentioned before.
Amazing. So what brings you to this networking group? Obviously to play paddle, but what else can you get out of it?
Well, I am a competitive bastard.
Of course.
But they're lovely people. And everyone's very helpful. There's a lot of professional overlaps.
Yeah.
And, doing that around sport just seems a lot more fun than rattling trees elsewhere.
Definitely. So golf isn't your scene. Paddle's more your scene. You play golf as well?
I'm a golfer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
this is my foray into team sport.
Love it. Do you see this taking over golf though, paddle? No?
No.
Still a place for it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll continue being an old fuddy-duddy. I enjoy golf. but it
Fantastic.
takes too much time. That's the problem.
Well, it's a
I'm
quick
a
game,
married
isn't
man
it?
with a
Yeah,
family. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. It's a
It'll
long
take
game.
half a day, and it's just it's fun. But you can knock off paddle in an hour and a half, 2 hours at best.
Yeah,
It's a
definitely.
much more efficient way of spending a morning.
Yeah, fantastic. So, what brought you to this particular paddle group?
It was an ex-contractor of mine, a crazy Italian called Francesco. I met Charlie and then Jacques at an event over several margaritas. It was a venture capital event, and they said, fancy trying paddle. I'm like, old tennis volley player, and I thought I'll try my hand at it. Never played it before, and absolutely love it.
And obviously, you've said you're very competitive at it. Is that where you gain your competitive advantage? Is when you're playing paddle?
I think just generally competitive.
Just generally competitive. So it's a perfect sport for you then to play.
It's fantastic.
Fantastic. And where do you see this going future beyond paddle?
In terms of the group, you mean?
Well, maybe in terms of the group and beyond, because obviously it's growing exponentially, isn't it? Paddle and the popularity of it global wide.
Yeah.
In terms of the Middle East region, where do you see it just growing and growing? Or
Yeah, I think paddle has a good potential in the general sort of social circles. I think it's become quite popular.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm a particularly great player by any stretch of the imagination, but I certainly enjoy it, and I've also brought a lot of other people into the group as well, by referral and otherwise, and everyone seems to be absolutely loving and enjoying it. It's a nice little launch pad. There's a good mix of players, a good mix of abilities. On the one hand, somewhat demoralizing aspect of playing with ex-ATP players, where you can't really touch the sides.
Yeah.
On the other hand, middle-aged or aging men like myself that are just giving it a good old crack,
Yeah,
So it's
totally.
it's a really nice mix of human beings.
yeah.
Yeah.
And is this the age of networking now?
But there's just a better way of doing it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've had Jitex this week, right?
We have had Jitex, yeah.
And what would you rather do? Would you rather spend an evening sweating with a bunch of other men, having a few beers?
Are you asking me personally now, Darko?
Personally, yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to be sweating with a load of men, to be honest. But then also my feet have been absolutely killing me from Jitex.
Yeah,
So
fair enough. No, but my point is, it's a more enjoyable way.
yeah, it is. It's a great way of networking
and supporting each other.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for your time today, Darko.
No worries at all.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you. Jack, thanks for joining me.
Welcome.
Can you just tell us a little bit about who you are and who is your Paddle Network group?
Yeah. So I'm Jack Isabel, 38 years old. I've lived in Dubai for 8 years. Background in sport and education. Moved into the financial world a couple of years ago with a lot of success. And then off the back of that, I built the Dubai Paddle Network.
Okay, so how long have you been going? How long has it been going, the Dubai Paddle Network group?
Good question. I can't put months on it, but it's definitely, it's over a year now, year and a half.
Right.
So it started with me and Charlie Regis, both keen tennis players. We were sat in Phileas Fogg having a conversation, and we thought there's two of us who are keen to try paddle out, so let's find two other players, but let's put a bit of a business focus on it. So we played against two others who I can't actually remember who they are. Charlie will be able to remind me. And from that four, it grew and grew, and we're at over 100 members now.
Wow. And they active members? Are they there every week or?
So week on week, we have about 20 to 24 active members.
Yeah.
So we normally take up about 5 courts. We play at Club Paddle every week.
Yeah.
So we turn up, we play paddle, we do an hour and a half of paddle, and then everyone always stays for coffee after, which is probably the most valuable part of that weekly event. We talk about anything, any problems people have got, we try and find solutions. Any new members that have come, we try and introduce them, or we try and place them next to someone that's going to offer value. It's been really, really valuable. You stick 20 people around a table, all who are business focused or in a variety of areas that have synergies. Then it becomes pretty special.
Yeah, and this is a question I asked a couple of the members when I've been doing little interviews with them. Is paddle the new tennis? Is this the best way to network now?
100%, in my opinion. It used to be golf.
Yeah.
which I tried and I'm not very good at.
It's a long game though, isn't it?
It is, and
Yeah.
you know, if you look at, it's a numbers game at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If you look at golf, you know, you're in a buggy with one other person.
Yeah.
There's two people there, so unless you switch it up, which is quite rare, you might be playing against another pair. You know, and you're talking to that one person for 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
Even longer if you're doing 18 holes. Now, paddle, you're on the court, you can rotate, you can play
Yeah.
against different doubles partners, you can switch your partner. You're done in an hour and a half, and then you can have 30 minutes to an hour after to network and chat with people. So in my opinion, it's definitely more of an effective way to network.
Yeah.
It's more accessible.
Yeah.
Golf is a difficult sport. I think it's one of the most difficult sports out there
Yeah.
to master. You've got to put in a lot of time. Paddle, turn on. You know, there's room for error. It's a smaller court. It can bounce off the back and it can bounce off the side. So, in terms of accessibility, it's definitely there, and it puts everyone on a level playing field.
Yeah, definitely. And what days then is it? So you say you play out of, is it just
Club paddle.
club paddle? How often do you play? How often do you meet? Is there any social aspects to it as well?
Every Thursday,
Yeah.
we're down there at 7 a.m. I've actually just this morning actually, opened up a second session. Once we got to 100 members,
Yeah.
I thought it'd be nice to give people, you know, some flexibility. I know that guys have got sort of families and work commitments. So Tuesday morning, 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Thursday morning, 7 a.m. We play for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And both of those at the moment are at Club Paddle.
Yeah.
And in terms of events, we try and do a quarterly event. We probably do a few more in the winter months because of the temperature. And we do them here, Emirates Golf Club. So,
Perfect location, isn't it? Great
Yeah.
paddle facilities, great social and F&B facilities as well. Yeah.
No, it's a fantastic, and we're really well looked after here. So we, pretty much every quarter. We've got our next event coming up mid-December. So I try and add something different to every event. We'll probably have between 30 and 40 people down.
Yeah.
There'll be drink stations, food stations. We're actually going to have a DJ on the next
Oh,
one.
sounds good.
And some paddle, of course. So some friendly competition. We've got some great prizes as well. We've had a lot of interest from sponsors and partners to bring some good prizes to the table. So I won't give them away just yet, but we've got some very exciting prizes in the next one.
Well, that sounds good. So in terms of those members that you've got, are they from a wide range of industries, or are they kind of specific?
Yeah, I'd probably say it's quite broad. But everyone who we bring into the group, I don't want to say they're vetted, but we make sure that they're going to be, you know, the right partner, and everyone adds value.
Yeah.
You know, we had an example where one of the members wanted to sell his property. We've got a couple of real estate guys in there who facilitated that, and they helped with that, and they worked together and they knew each other.
Yeah.
You know, some guys are raising capital for projects.
Yeah.
We've got some offices and some management offices that want to place capital. Those guys work together.
Yeah.
So for me personally as well, I just want to have pretty much every solution or a solution to every problem within that paddle network, not only for me but for the members to utilize, which they're doing as well. I know there's a lot of business going on.
I was going to ask, that was my next question. Do you know that there's a lot of business that happens?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the guys are great. They sort of check in with me and say, look, I'm having a meeting with this individual. Are you happy with that? And by all means, I'm happy to share the network. For the guys who dedicate every week and come every Thursday, you know, some of those guys have now turned into sponsors, long-term partners. We're working together on different projects. So I keep going back to that word, but there's definitely value added in everything. And building a network or having a network is probably the biggest part to having success, I'd say. So from my perspective, my network's there. I don't have to look too much further. I've got 20 people who I can sit around a table with and have a coffee once a week, and then, you know, you pick the ones who I need to speak to individually and go and meet them, you know, at different times during the week. Yeah.
So in terms of future plans, what's the plans for 2025 for your group? So you've obviously said that you've put on a new Tuesday session. We've got an established Thursday session. So what's next?
So it's probably been something I've been asking myself for the last couple of months. definitely going to get some branding behind it, because
Yeah.
I think it's a really, really strong group, and I need to make sure that it has a clear identity.
Yeah.
So yeah, get some Dubai Paddle Network branding. Growth. I had a conversation with one of the members, and he said, "Look, you've got two options here. You can either grow it, or you can make it exclusive. There are exclusive groups out there, and yeah, I think I'll grow it. I think it'll be a growth, a direction of growth, just to try and get as many members in. Obviously, that makes it a little bit more difficult because you've got more members to manage, but then that just means, you know, we're going to add more mornings. I've already added the Tuesday in there. Finding the time to do the events is probably the trickiest part, but I do want to start doing more structured coffee mornings, some networking events. But I've already been approached by paddle clubs, financial institutions who want to lean on me and get my network to come along to their events. So there's opportunities there as well. But yeah, at the moment I'm happy. The weekly paddle's great. The events are fantastic. We've got some really nice sponsors coming in, and the event's getting bigger and bigger. I mean, we had 20, we'll probably look at 30 or 40, you know, in March. The next one, it might go up to 50. So yeah, probably a decision on my part to try and maximize the group, so to speak, and start doing some more events with it.
Sounds good. And finally, where do viewers find out where to sign up or get more information about Dubai Paddle Network?
Yeah, so you can find my LinkedIn. So Jacques Isabel. There's going to be a Dubai
We'll
Paddle.
share that on there as well. Yeah.
So there'll be a Dubai Paddle Network LinkedIn as well, set up in the next couple of weeks once we finalise the branding.
Yeah.
I try not to spend too much time on social media because I find that a high percentage of the time is wasted time.
Yeah.
I find there's too many distractions on there. But yeah, I need to leverage social media and get some content on there. So
makes sense.
We'll start. I'm quite keen to start on LinkedIn and use LinkedIn as the main social media tool, because it's a business network at the end of the day. So LinkedIn is predominantly focused on business. So I'll start there, and yeah, we'll see where that takes us.
Sounds good. Thanks so much for your time, Jack.
Thanks, Sally.
For more information about Jack's Dubai Paddle Network group, you can find the information on the screen now. I'm the Middle East marketer. Please be sure to follow us on LinkedIn, and thanks for joining in on this episode of Desert Dialogues.